But it's quiet and it seems to be in a pensive mood today. Let's see if we can put that to good work for the county. Chris, would you lead us in prayer this morning?
Sure. Dear Lord, we come before you now and thank you for this day you've given us. Thank you for this weather. Great time of year. Just pray that you give everybody today as they go about their day and do your business. Pray for this commission to make decisions that affect the county and be with everyone as they go throughout the day. In your name we pray.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner, you arrived just in time.
Well, thank
Let you begin.
Well, thank you. On behalf of Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations, we have no items under Board of Equalization. We have a total of 5 items that are under Environmental Services. Are there any questions? If so, I see David or Cal, whoever you so select. Anyone have any questions? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion.
I'll move
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
There are no other reports under the other departments. Thank you. It was painless.
Mr. Tyson, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Community Development and Health Services Committee. I will skip all the way down to Department of Community Services. Bergeron.
Good morning, Commissioners. The 6 items that we have today are all lien releases. All these mortgages have been fulfilled as part of our home program.
Move 1 through 6.
Second.
It's been first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have 3 community grants.
Second.
It's been first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I would like to ask for a resolution for Myrna Jackson. She was a part of, she was actually a foot soldier, one of the original foot soldiers. She passed last week. I can just wanted to just mention a couple of things to put it on record. The service that she did give to the community. She was one of the original foot soldiers that marched in 1963 to Newberry's, and she was actually one of the ones that was actually arrested, and it was documented. She was also arrested after the bombing of 16th Street and jailed. All of this is documented, and she also served on the HADD board, and she was a true civil rights legend. And I would like to put a motion on the floor to give her a resolution to go down in the record.
You want a resolution or proclamation?
Whichever one you think is that should.
I didn't know we did proclamations. We do. What are the circumstances by which we do proclamations?
We have done them for folks when we honor them, and then when they passed away, I will specifically show that I know there's one in my office.
But I'm just saying, as a proclamation.
Years of service.
No, well, here's where I'm going, is that is a proclamation more notable than a resolution? Well, what is the difference?
A resolution is usually something that you want to adopt in terms of policy or protocol. A proclamation is just something that you acknowledge and recognize that someone has done.
Mm-hmm. Well, proclamation seems to be more suitable in this purpose. Okay.
How about for the seat of proclamation or resolution? I'm coming in a minute, so why you get your mind on this?
So that when
We got a resolution or proclamation?
We got a resolution.
Resolution.
Yeah.
Longtime lawyer of Jefferson County and friend of members of this commission passed away last week.
should be a proclamation, without a proclamation.
And the reason why I was asking is because typically we do resolutions, and I've never heard, not since I've been here, about proclamations. That's why I wanted to know what was the difference in the two.
I think they've done it. I think they've been done interchangeably, but I'll confirm that.
But if one seems to be more hierarchy than the other, then I would think that Ms. Jackson would apply in that regard, and what Commissioner Bolden is speaking of as well. Okay.
Proclamation has statements, whereas a resolution has conditions, whereas certain things were performed, and therefore you are now recognized, now therefore be it resolved. A proclamation just states the deeds of the person, and on behalf of the Jefferson County Commission, we commend the person for these deeds and recognize them in a certain place.
So you're saying that one has preambles and the other doesn't?
All right, you know, we don't need.
Technically, one.
I said, I got you.
Yeah, yeah, you got it.
So the proclamation is what we're
Give
going
whatever you want to give. I just give you two options.
Okay, so do I need to,
Sound
You
like
don't
you
need
want a
change.
I don't need
proclamation.
to change a thing, make a motion or nothing?
No, you
You just
just
right.
sign.
Okay,
Just write it one long time.
all right.
Fair enough. All right, Minister, that all of them? Go ahead.
Yeah, because after that, I won't be here Thursday.
All right, how do we want to do that?
You want to wait till the next meeting?
No, because I want it for her funeral.
Oh,
They
okay.
have people from the White House.
Well, we'll just sign it now and then Mike can get it to the funeral.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah, but even if she doesn't have the original signature, she can always get a stamp, so still should be good. Well, you don't have to rush to get it done, but I digress.
Vote on proclamation.
We don't, yeah, just come back. All right, administrative and infrastructure. Roads and transportation has 9 items. Rick, good morning.
Good morning. Move 1 through 9.
Second?
All in favor, say aye. County attorney has 3 items. Now, you gotta do your,
One is a personal injury settlement, and you've got a confidential memo on that. The other is a contract with Custom Fit Security that does process serving investigations as needed, and the other is the minutes.
there we go. We just need a motion to move. to
Move
the-
items.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next year, county manager have a deferred compensation for nationwide. This affects all of our employees. Cal, do you want to explain that, and I'll kind of keep it a little bit?
Okay. So commissioners, employees have an option for what's called a 457 plan, where they could put additional funds into a retirement account that's pre-taxed. And then past, we've had 5 companies that manage those funds. And we've hired a fiduciary, a financial advisor, to look at that and analyze it and come back and recommend, improvements. And I'd also like to thank Commissioner Stevens with the Masters in Finance. He has been invaluable, but we've negotiated down, having 5 companies do it made it very difficult. 4 companies made it difficult to negotiate their fees. So we're recommending only having Nationwide as the provider, and we feel like that'll make us much more efficient. We were able to negotiate the fees down almost 50% and we think that'll save the employee, whoever's investing, it'll save about $200,000 a year. And there were some nuances to it, and thank you, Commissioner. If you got any comments, and we don't necessarily have to do this week, the sooner we can do it, the better, but we can, this is for the best of all of us, so hopefully we got the best we can get it. I'm excited about it and ready to get it done, so.
Yeah, well, these negotiations began when Mr. Tellison was still here. And we worked to, most of the monies was in the Nationwide fixed account. And back in 2018, maybe 2019, they wanted to change that and reduce the amount of guaranteed income that they gave you on your fixed account. It had been 3.5% for years and years and years and years. And that is a walled off percentage that says that that's all, no matter what happens, you're going to get your 3.5%. But when you get near retirement, that's something that you depend on. And that's something that the management team and me to a lesser extent work to make sure that you maintain that. So in 2018, or 2019, let's see what it was. We maintained, we did some changes to the nationwide plan, and we accepted what they considered their option 3, which handled that guaranteed minimum interest rate, GMIR, of 3.5%. And that's net of fees. Okay? There's no fees that comes off of that 3.5%. So if you're expecting, if you're near retirement, you're expecting that is now walled off. They have also now walled off the plan that they changed that with. So it's a 283, same deal, just less interest. So if you want to choose that, but you can choose anything within the nationwide portfolio in order for you to be comfortable. I appreciate Cal allowing me to do that, because it can amount to a great deal of money, especially if you're depending on that for your retirement savings, and it does make a difference. So, based on what I've seen, okay, and with the understanding that those 2 items are walled off with a guaranteed minimum interest rate, GMIR, I would recommend that we go ahead and vote on it.
All right.
Move on. Have a motion?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. I have board appointment for Mount Olive Fire District for Ashley Brooks. Move it. Second. Anybody?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Commissioner Knight. Thank y'all.
Finance, Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have our normal items 1 through 7, the unusual demand report, our encumbrance report, the purchasing agenda report, and the purchasing exceptions report. Do we have any questions on any of those items?
Do I have a motion?
Move on.
Have a motion, second. All in favor, please say aye. Thank you.
Under Budget Management Office, we have our multiple staff development, our individual staff development, no information items this week.
Do I have a motion?
Move on.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Developmental Services, let's go to Z 240010.
Yes, sir. This is a case that was out on Pawnee Village Road. It was a request to go from this section split zoning of property, agricultural and industrial park to light industry. Yesterday afternoon, the applicant did email and withdrew the case. So this one we will need to call, but we'll just need to note in the minutes that the case was withdrawn by the applicant.
This was one we just had, wasn't it?
Sir?
This one we just had, right?
No, this one just recently went through planning and zoning commission.
But it's not the same one?
No.
Okay.
No, this is anything that has gone before the commission.
Okay. All right. All right.
So,
Item 1 is withdrawn by the applicant.
Yes, sir.
All right. Z 240009.
Yes, this is a request for to go from A1 to RG for a garden home development out in the McCalla area. They're proposing 59 lots out on this property that is just, a little over 12 acres. It does comply with the policies of the land use plan. As you can see from the surrounding area, it is slightly more dense than the developments, one to the north and then also to the west, that's along Eastern Valley Road, Carroll Cove, which, again, I'll pass this out here just saying we did receive some letters of opposition from the neighborhood and some of the adjacent property owners as well. We did take a look at the traffic just because we know that there is a concern, especially along Eastern Valley Road, particularly in the morning and evening time, the peak traffic time. What we found was that the level of service is actually fine with the property the way that it is, and there's not any sort of thing that would be warranted. They would have to submit, if it were to be approved, a traffic study that would have to be approved by the county traffic engineer as well. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval with some conditions. One, that the architecture of the homes be in character with the surrounding neighborhoods, and then two, that a privacy fence be installed along the south property line. We're adjacent to agricultural property. Staff has actually requested to modify those. One, to change the language regarding the privacy fence, because we've had some issues with drainage in the past with privacy fences. Then we changed that language to the visual screening with buffering mechanism shall be required along the south property line where adjacent to A1 zoning as compatible with topography and drainage. And two, that sidewalks be provided to the internal of the development along Eastern Valley Road, and that is because this property is identified along a roadway where we're looking to change some infrastructures to have more pedestrian and bike along Eastern Valley Road in this spot, according to the Jefferson County bike pedestrian plan, which again comes before the commission at some point in the near future for adoption.
Michael, what's the difference? Excuse me, Joe. I
had a couple questions. Go ahead.
Forgive me, this is some letters of opposition that we've received since we
what's the density if you make it the same as your neighbors? How many different houses?
It would result in probably a loss of probably 5 to 10 lots.
And is that the main complaint that we're receiving without moving it all in?
Yeah, density, house size, again, comparable architecture for what's around it. And again, we realize the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend that particular condition. However, that's very subjective and difficult to enforce without crossing the line of being somewhat arbitrary and capricious. And so that's why we've taken that off as part of our staff recommendation.
Yeah, I've been kind of known to be arbitrary and capricious sometimes.
Well, yeah, architecture according to who and what. I mean, Carroll Cove may have some siding, may have some brick. The Cheshire Park may have siding, brick. I mean, and then you have the remaining agricultural lots that are there as well. And so, I mean, again, it just opens. I think it opens us up for legal scrutiny if we were to enact something like that.
I'm in favor of the subdivision if it maintains the density of its neighbors. I'm not real big about
like I said,
increasing that density to where it's not congruent with what's going on in the neighborhood. And I think that's where the neighbors, they don't mind. They understand that progress is coming, but they want that progress to be something that orderly and look like they did. So
okay,
I will put that in a motion or in a condition on the approval of this.
All right, are we going for the density of like Cheshire Park to the north? Are we going more to Carroll Cove or some sort of hybrid? We can come up with some language.
Yeah, and that's your job. And
well, like I said, I'm asking for guidance. So we can some sort of something in the
what we need to do now is to understand the intent, and their intent is to make money. So what I don't want to hamper them to the extent that they can't make money. But what I do want to do, I want to be able to please those neighbors to where they're satisfied that they're going to get houses that are similar to theirs.
There was additional information provided, Commissioner. I'm sorry, I don't think that Michael received it in time for this meeting. And what it is an illustration of architectural rendering, if you will, of what the residential structure will look like, along with the value of the structures.
Yeah, I've printed it up. That's what I just passed out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then additionally, what was prepared by Development Services Director Joshua Johnson was a level of service for the adjacent roadway. Can you just go back to that previous slide? And maybe Josh will still have more than me. The level of service. That one there. So the existing level of service for this roadway is 9,829, which is the level of service C. This roadway does not fail in terms of capacity unless and until it exceeds 22,400 traffic counts. And Josh, you prepared this report, so would you like to, am I correct with that?
Yeah, Commissioner, so this is just really a kind of a high-level transportation impact of what these new units may yield in terms of new traffic based off of the International or Institute of Transportation Engineers studies that they've done. But if the concerns about density, in surrounding properties, yes, we'll still have traffic generated, but we can still caveat that to recommend that it's more in line with the adjacent properties.
If you're looking at an international study, you may have public transportation hitting it real hard. So, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
What I'm working on now is to make it look like the neighborhood without increasing the density. And I think it's something that we've got a public hearing coming Thursday.
Yes, sir.
I'm okay bringing it to the public hearing, but I would like to see what you had and feel comfortable and let these neighbors feel comfortable before we vote on it. So we'll have a public hearing on it and then vote possibly next meeting.
Okay. And like I said, we could come up with some language or some standards for the density.
Standards for making these folks feel comfortable. And you understand this is one of the highest growing areas in the county. And you want to make sure that it grows in the right way.
All right, my question too was, you've got 12.2 acres, and that's 4.91 houses per acre. Man, y'all gonna share bathrooms with the neighbors or something?
Rooftop to rooftop, Joe.
And also, what is a visual screening?
Visual screening. It could be vegetated buffer. It could be, we could talk about privacy fences and everything else. But again, we don't want to preclude any sort of engineering that may need to go into the site, because we do see where the drainage is coming right there, and the privacy fence could interfere with that. So we're talking about the visual buffer. We're talking trees, shrubs, that sort.
That's even shrinking your acreage further.
That's
right?
true.
For those.
That is true. And then
Okay.
again, we were working with the applicant. Last thing I'll say on this, we're working with the applicant with regards to things like fire codes. They did install an egress for fire service in addition to the road that they're proposing as well. And that's all in accordance with the International Fire Code. We did work with them on getting that.
I have another question, but it's illegal, and I'll take it up with the attorneys later.
So, what is the most of the complaints that they have?
It is about density. If there's some uncertainty about the type of housing that will be there, what sorts of materials there will be, if it will be comparable to square footage. Questions like that is what's coming from the
So who's building these this subdivision?
the builder, I'm not sure. We've been working with the engineer for the site.
K&K.
Is it K&K? Is the builder? Yeah, I see.
Oh, that's who the. All right.
I'm sorry, if I could just make one more comment. So when you're comparing density of this development with the adjacent development, it's almost like comparing apples to oranges, because Cheshire Park has 4 dwelling units per acre, and this proposed development has 5 dwelling units per acre. And so there are 59 units proposed on 12 acres for the current development being proposed by Cheshire. There's more acreage there, although there's also more units, but the density is lower, because although you have more units, you also have more acreage, which lowers the density. So it's difficult to compare the two.
Are they comparable lot sizes?
With Cheshire Park?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are the lot sizes?
You know, one goes out on McDowell School Road,
Right.
and the other goes out on Eastern Valley Road.
Right.
So it's
That's
kind of
right.
hard.
Now, as far as
to
lot
compare.
sizes with regard to that, yeah, it's not very, it's
You
not
can't compare.
especially comparable with Carroll Cove,
Yeah, no.
but it is more comparable with Cheshire.
Commissioner, we'll reach out to the applicant and give them the feedback we've gotten during this meeting and see kind of where we can meet the middle ground before Thursday.
I appreciate this. You know, these people out in this area get beat up on pretty regularly.
Yes, sir, I understand.
And you want to make sure that we have that growth, but it needs to be orderly.
Yes, sir.
And everyone needs to at least feel okay about it.
Yes, sir.
And this is the McCalla area.
Right by the school. Yeah, right by it.
I'll move it to the agenda, but with reservation.
They get beat up on.
All right, all in favor say aye. No, now it's your show.
Wait.
I'll move it to the agenda.
All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thanks. All right. Z240015.
Yes, this is a request for rezoning for a minor expansion or a small expansion of an existing business. This is out on Mount Olive Road. There's an unlimited terrain, off-road vehicles, and I believe there's utility trailers out there as well. Business that's right here at the corner or between Burke Lane and Cagle Drive along Mount Olive Road. They acquired a property to the rear of it. They've already cleared it off. They plan on expanding it with a small office building there. It doesn't conflict directly with policies of the land use plan. And as you see here, yeah, this shows you where they flipped it off. They kind of putting a building out there. This is some shots of the existing buildings or the existing businesses out there. All right, Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval, again with a caveat or with a condition that a 6-foot privacy fence be installed along the western property boundary in order to separate the I-1 and the R4 district that's behind it, which actually has a single-family dwelling on it. Again, due to those concerns that we've had with the engineering in the past, staff is recommending modifying that particular condition to, again, visual screening with buffering mechanisms to be installed along the western property boundary where adjacent to residential zoning as compatible with area topography and drainage. There was no opposition at the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing.
Do I have a motion? A motion second. All in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Z240016.
Yes, this is a request to go from institutional zoning to agricultural zoning. This is a parsonage that was part of a church property, and they've successfully subdivided the property off. They're just looking to sell it the home as a home. And so it's really more or less a compliance issue. Again, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval.
Do I have a motion?
Move item.
Motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. All right, Z240018.
All right, yes, sir. This is what's involved with this particular request is a small land swap between a church property and an agricultural property. You'll see here on the screen, you'll see that there's a small piece of property that the church is looking to acquire to expand a parking lot. And then there's also a small piece of property that's in negotiation for the agricultural property owner to have access to War Cemetery Road. And you'll see that's sort of the dog leg here. And so anyway, this is just to align the zoning with the proposed land swap itself. And the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Yeah.
And a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. 240019.
Yes, this is up close to the Blount County line. This is along Arkadelphia Road near County Line Road, right at the edge of the county. On the opposite side of that intersection in Blount County is some commercial enterprises. These guys want to rezone for commercial for it's a contractor's business, I believe it's HVAC. Again, Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this particular request. Doesn't conflict with the policies of the land use plan for this area, as it's designated as rural.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second, all in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Z240020.
All right, this particular property is, the genesis of this case was a zoning violation of zoning property. What has happened, this property was zoned RG back in the early 2000s as part of the garden home development. This particular segment or section was never developed as garden homes, but it still retains that RG zone. What has happened over the years is this property has actually changed hands. Someone purchased the property and they started, they have livestock out there, they've got goats, cows, which have become a nuisance for the garden home property owners. Of course, it's within their rights to file for rezoning of the property to agricultural. The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend denial on this particular request as it doesn't, as the proposed zoning and use conflicts with not only the RG zoning of the garden home development that this is adjacent to, but also the Bessemer zoning that surrounds it as well, which is also zoned for single-family residential, which does not allow for the keeping of livestock and fowl.
How long has the livestock and cows been out there?
It's been a couple of years now.
Have they become a nuisance to
The garden home, the folk, the residents of the garden home.
What kind of livestock talking about, you know?
Goats, cows, horses. I think it's just goats and cows. There's some pictures in your reports as well of that livestock. That was actually provided by the opposition.
Are the cows attacking people?
Well, the goats were. The goats did get loose in the neighborhood.
You know, I didn't have that in my book. I don't know why, but
That particular case.
I look. It's 20, and maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Greg, should be the very
I don't have it.
I don't.
20's not in there.
No.
20 is not in any of our books.
We'll get that to you.
Are you hiding the goats again?
So tell me a little bit more about the goats. What's her name?
That I don't know. We didn't get all that in there.
Are there a lot of them?
And where is it? This sounds like it's my district. Tell me.
Yes, sir. This is off of this is like off of Green Road, I believe. Sadlertown.
Sadlertown Road is off of Morgan Road,
Right.
and the subdivision there is.
Here we go. And this again, this picture is actually taken from the residents of that subdivision. So
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a pretty sight.
And how many acres does he have?
the acreage on this one?
Yeah, he ain't got them in a garden home lot, has he?
No. This is 14 acres.
14 acres.
Like I said, this was originally proposed as another phase of that particular garden home development.
Did anyone ever say give him a 50 or 75 foot buffer and put?
That didn't come up in the hearing.
I can understand both sides.
Yeah.
You know, you got 14 acres, and that's kind of country out there.
It sort of lends itself, yes, sir.
Yeah, and you know, it would be good if you got both sides together. And,
Put a double buffer up.
if you can't see it,
Right.
and
And again, that could be something that's brought up at the public hearing.
Who came first, the goats or the garden home?
Garden home.
the garden homes is at Wyndham Park. Is that what that is? Do you know?
Oh, Misty Park? What's it called? I don't think that's Windsor Park.
That's in the city of Bessemer, and this isn't.
No, the garden homes are in the county, but the surrounding properties to the north and to the east of city of Bessemer.
Is that over there by Martin?
Yeah, no, that's over there by Roy Brook. Roy Brook lives over that way. If everybody knows Roy from all his flag over.
All right, well, let's have a.
Yeah, I moved to the.
All right, let's go to the agenda anyway. Have a motion, second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The goats have it.
All right,
Z240003.
This is just a request for off-premise beer and wine. This existing Quick Stop, it's at an Alliance, going down towards the river.
Yeah.
There has a history of off-premise sales. This is not technically a transfer application, though, because the previous license expired. But anyway, this is just to reinvigorate that. It's new business owners. You're opening it back up, and again, this is just a request for that off-premise beer and wine. There's no public hearing that's required, as this there's a history of established sales.
That perimeter there, is there any churches?
No, sir.
I move.
Have a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. General Services, Industrial Fire and Safety Equipment, do I have a motion?
Aye.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Tax Collector, we have an insolvent report for tax year 2023. This is a resolution authorizing the acceptance of allowances for the uncollected balance of property tax for the tax year 2023. Insolvent unpaid report from the Tax Collector. Tax Collector, you on the line?
Good morning, Commissioner. This is Derek Williams from the Tax Collector's Office.
All right. Tell us what you got here.
So as part of our tax collection cycle, yearly we're required to present our report to the Commission for their approval, and then we forward it to the State Comptroller's Office. So this is something we present once a year to you.
Okay, any questions? Do I have a motion?
I move.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, public service grant for Rick Woodfield in the amount of $250,000.
Oh, aye.
Have a motion?
I'll second.
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 All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Zach, for getting this done in a timely manner because they're needing to go. All right, that concludes my report.
Commissioner?
So, District 5, I'd like to bring back up what I asked everybody to sign this morning, they did for Bob Barnett, Bob was a long-time lawyer, friends, two or three members of this commission. My friend, he passed away. I got it in the form of a resolution, the proclamation, his services tomorrow. I think they're going to read some of this service. I can change it if anybody.
Let's do it. Just do it as
Just
it
go
is.
forward,
Yeah,
Just
that's fine.
proclamation.
Yeah.
It's fine, it has the same effect.
Yeah. Second.
Get it in a frame
All right,
if you want to.
move the resolution.
Move.
So moved. I don't think we have to move it.
No,
I think we just do it.
sign
Next
it.
time.
That's good.
All right.
Next we have is economic development, and Jeff here, and he's got a couple of people going to speak briefly to you about Red Mountain Retail Distribution.
Good morning, everyone. What we have before us today is an incentive request under consideration for Red Mountain Retail doing business as Ashley Furniture. I'm going to go a little bit out of order from what I typically do. I'm going to have the company come up and talk about their project first. And to do so, we've got the company CEO, Woody Marks. Marks, just FYI, this is the Marks tied to Marks Fitzgerald Furniture, which I know a lot of you will be familiar with. But over the past couple of decades, Woody has been operating Red Mountain Retail, which has the Ashley Furniture franchises for North Alabama. At this point, I'd ask Woody to come up, talk a little bit about the company, their project, what the plans are, and then I'll step back up to talk through the incentive request. Woody?
Thank you all. I'm Woody Marks. Honored to be here. Thank you for your public service. I've been born in Birmingham. My grandfather started Marks Fitzgerald Furniture in Bessemer, Alabama in 1931. I went to work for him in the summers. And done everything from managing the warehouse, and loading trucks, and driving trucks, and fixing furniture, to customer stuff. Decided I would leave the company in 1997 to go to Huntsville and open up a Lazy Boy store. Then I came across Ashley. Opened my first store in Huntsville, Alabama. We had a distribution center in Madison, Alabama. Opened my second store in Birmingham, Alabama, in about 2006. moved the DC to Jefferson County from Madison County shortly thereafter, because I started getting different stores like Tuscaloosa, Fultondale, all these stores started needing bigger distribution center. So we moved that eventually to Bessemer. We have 10 stores now in North Alabama. Pretty proud of those. We have outgrown the Bessemer facility. We have been actively looking for a DC, a place to build in Jefferson County. Stores each year, community service, feed about 350 hungry families. About 50 of those in each one of our stores. We've fed about 4,500 families since we started doing that. And we're hopeful that you will listen to our proposal and become a partner.
One of the unique things about the project is that their distribution center in Bessemer is actually the point of purchase for anything you buy at any of their stores. So if you go to the Huntsville location, order it, excuse me, buy a couch, you don't pick that couch up and take it home with you. That couch comes out of the Bessemer location, and sales taxes are paid to Bessemer County. So over the past several years, Jefferson County has generated a significant amount of sales tax revenue in the amount of about $4.4 million off of those sales, again, that are really from other showrooms in other counties. As they are looking to grow, as he mentioned, they do have a need to relocate. They're landlocked where they're at now. They don't have enough space, and they're trying to identify a new location. So as an effort to try to retain those sales tax dollars, retain the employees, and retain the company, what we are looking at is a sales tax split off of the 1% general fund revenue that we generated from these sales at a 60-40 rate. We estimate that based off of the projected sales tax increases the company's provided us, we should roughly break about even off of what we're currently getting on sales tax revenues off the next 10 years. But that extra that would be generated from their growth, a lot of that would go back towards the company to keep them here in Jefferson County. Spoke with a revenue director about it. He's comfortable with the idea, and what we ended up doing is basically tracking these sales taxes on a monthly basis. They'd submit a report on what's generated in Jefferson County, and then we would issue the rebate based off of that. Does anybody have any questions for either the company, their attorney, or myself on this one?
Who are your other guests here? We have people standing by the door.
Chris Grissom, everyone knows Chris. Chris, do you mind?
Yeah, so that's Andy Cash. Andy is the CFO for Red Mountain Retail, and Carly Horner, who is an associate.
I got a couple. That's all right. All right. City of Bessemer is committed 65-35 to a sales tax sharing agreement.
They're approving theirs today. But yeah, they're approving the 65-35.
All right. So it's yeah.
Oh, 50-50. Okay.
So that's not correct in here.
I thought it was 60.
No, yeah, it's 50-50.
So, okay, so let's see, you have a 50-50 sales tax, and that is predicated on you staying in Bessemer.
Yes, sir.
Are you looking for a place in there? He says Jefferson County, and so you think about maybe.
We would like, we wants to stay in Jefferson County. We've been in Bessemer for over 10 years, I think. So it's been a good fit.
Yeah, it's 10-year agreement, so I figure it's coming to an end. You're looking for to have it renewed, and they want to renew it at 50-50. And you did not have that agreement with Jefferson County. So you're seeking that 60-40 split with Jefferson County on the 1 cent general sales tax.
The education wouldn't be touched, and in fact, we should see an increase in educational revenue.
Well, yeah, but that 1 cent special education tax would not be touched.
Correct.
Okay. So we'll make sure of that.
Yeah, I had that same question, but it is spelled out that it's not.
That's good.
Was Bessemer in the existing report given 35% or rebating 65%?
They're rebating. They meet tonight to renew, hopefully, their agreement, and it'll be 50/50 split.
But Jeff, in your report, what does this mean, 60-40? Are we giving 40% rebate or 60%?
60.
So your report,
We get 40% of the tax.
make sure you check that city-county ratio.
I'll update
They
that.
drop into 50%.
Yeah.
We may be less than 2 to 1.
And one thing that I want to let everyone understand is that most of our sales taxes have been pledged. I checked with legal on that. It goes to indigent care and it goes to the health department. So what we're doing is if we're going to use it for economic development, that money won't go to the health department. That money won't go to indigent care. It will go as an incentive to keep these folks in Jefferson County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
I will say though, based off of the estimated increases in sales off the project, it should keep those revenues fairly equal to close to where we got now. So indigent care and other things that are paid for out of that fund shouldn't see too much of a drop out of it.
And I would add the bulk of our indigent care monies come from the alcohol sales.
So what percentage so we would not lose?
Who gets all of our, excuse me, who gets all of our, we only get 37% of our general sales tax dollars? Am I correct?
I haven't worked with this,
Well,
I think
so I haven't reviewed this.
and that's
It's a
something
significant
It's
portion.
whiskey, it's the whiskey, it's not beer.
That's what I said, alcohol tax.
Well, beer's alcohol thing.
Yeah,
I meant alcohol.
All right, well, I'm a little confused about I was under the impression that Bessemer was doing it 65-35.
That was my understanding.
Okay, so
They have
that's,
in the past done a 60/40.
okay, but now they're 50-50. If y'all stay in Bessemer, what if you don't?
Wherever we go gets that money. There's that money.
Then they'll never have nothing.
Well, the 50-50 from Bessemer is going to generate more revenue than a 60-40 from us.
Yeah.
Their rate is.
Their ratio is different. They collect more taxes than we do. You're looking at a 1% on us, and you're looking at 4% from us. So 50-50 is a tremendous amount of more money. So whether they like it would behoove you to stay in Bessemer to get the tax incentive and add ours to it if we so approve it. So, it just makes sense, unless you can go somewhere else and get the same deal. But you are intent on staying in Jefferson County.
And y'all
Actively
do,
looking for warehouse space as it is. We want to build a facility. Also, we're rebranding our stores. We're going to spend about $23 million on two new stores. And I don't know if y'all seen my Hoover store. I mean, we repainted it, redone the inside of it. Those things are not inexpensive. And we project it's about $23 million.
And of that 23 million, 10 million is for they're budgeting for the new warehouse.
So how big of a warehouse you building, and how much property you need?
About 80 to 100,000, depending on how tall we go. We've been looking for property that would have interstate visibility. We'd like to stay in Bessemer as well, but I mean,
Got Brighton and Lipscomb, right? Brighton right there by the freeway.
we looked at a piece of property there across from this Piggly Wiggly.
Yes,
Hill
plenty
Road.
over there.
Yeah, we couldn't get up the hill. You could see it, but you couldn't get up the hill. And then it had a water problem. I mean, it had some kind of, well, everything in Jefferson County's got water in it, but it had some kind of stream or something like that. And then when we did the numbers, it was going to cost more than we.
There's property where the old food world was.
We've talked about that as well.
That's on the table, but they haven't been able to bring that land up plane yet. They're talking about some type of, somebody's coming in there to put a service station or something. They're talking about doing.
It seems like to me that you would be much more beneficial on a service station.
Than a service station.
Okay.
Well,
And there's 23 acres.
Like one of those big service stations for the trucks and everything.
Well, there's 23 acres.
There is some topography issues to kind of cut into that total number, but I mean, it's a larger site than you think.
I don't want to try to micromanage your business. Y'all
No,
do a great job and have a good business. I'm trying to think of a place in Bessemer that would benefit because your 50-50 means more to you than the 60-40 to us.
Every little bit helps.
Well, if you get it all.
Every little bit helps with what we're getting ready to do.
I see.
Y'all do some good community stuff too. I know
They
you've
do.
done some stuff in Folkdale. You know, I think
Yeah, you came to the.
I came and got turkeys for folks. Yeah, sure did. Appreciate it. I moved items.
We've been doing that since '98.
And we'll update the project sheet with Bessemer's numbers and email it back to you.
And I'll rerun that ratio as well.
If y'all have any questions, you can call me.
All right.
I'd like to talk to
And I did check to see if it was legal to do what we were doing with legal yesterday, because I did not want to take money from Peter to pay Paul.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Having nothing from information technology, I'll go to the last item, time and infrastructure grant to UAB athletics.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Brings us to the conclusion of our.
Kale's how you vote on that. She was, I think she entered here.
We have an opinion from our county attorney that its executive session is warranted pursuant to 3625-783 of the Alabama Code to discuss with attorney legal ramifications, legal options for pending litigation involving Jefferson County and controversies imminently likely to be litigated.
Move to go to executive session.
We have a motion to go into executive session. We have a second. All in favor say aye.
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 When and where?
It would be
Probably the conference room.
in 5 minutes, and it will last how long, and will there be any action taken?
No action taken, and I would anticipate 15, 20 minutes.
All right, let's say 30 minutes, just to be safe, and if we leave earlier, we'll be all right, with no action to be taken. That being said, this committee meeting is now adjourned to proceed to executive session.